Hello folks, my name is James and I'd like to welcome you to my channel RV Experience. In this episode, I'm going to give you sort of look around at the seasonal park we're in, our site itself, and the outdoor features of our trailer. It's mid-June 2025, so let's begin. Sitting here, this is our view. We're in a seasonal park, so it's open from mid-May till the end of October. And this is what we get to look at every day that we're here. We love it. Now, we'll get up and we'll do a little walk around. We're in southern Ontario, so yes, we are Canadian. And this park is actually southwestern Ontario. I have a beautiful lake, and it's not a very large park, so we like that. It's not very rowdy, not a lot of partiers. Maybe back in the old days, we'd be into that, but now we're getting a little older. We just like the peace and quiet that we have here. Now this is our site. I'll back up a bit here to give you a better view of it. So as you can see, we have a little roadway in, nice gravel driveway, and there's our trailer. There's our beautiful little Coleman. As we walk in closer, you'll notice that there is our first outdoor lawn decoration. That little watering can that's actually LED and lights up at night and looks pretty cool. I'm going a little further here to our horrible looking fire pit. Now this is our first season here, so some of the things you're going to see need to be upgraded and will be. In fact, we already have a plan for this. Right now, just burn some wood, gives us some nice little campfires, but stay tuned, and when I do the renovation on that, I'll make a video on it as well. As we get up to the trailer, I'm going to show you some of the features at the front. When we bought it new the end of last season, and it came with two 20-pound propane tanks, but we figured it's probably best if we upgrade that to 30 pounds, just so we're not running out frequently. And I'll show you what we've done inside. And for those of you who may not know how to check your propane tanks, how to access the valves and such without lifting this entire cover off, there are a couple of little thumb screws here that you can loosen up and pull forward. One on this side, one on this. And when you do that, it'll allow you to open up this flap. And I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see in here, but we'll go in and have a look. So you can see the valves for the propane tanks are easily accessible right here. And also on this one here. Now I've went ahead and added some gauges to these so we can monitor how much propane is in each tank. Because the last thing you want to do is have two propane tanks, not know how much is in them, run out, and it's a chilly evening, you have no heat. So as you'll see, this particular gauge is showing empty. Great, that's not a problem, because what the system does is it will draw from one tank first. When it detects that it is empty, it'll automatically switch over to the second tank. I will have to obviously take this one out and get it refilled, but if we look at the gauge on the second tank, it appears to be full. So we've got plenty of propane to last for quite some time. We'll close that up. Quite simply, pop out the thumb screws, snap them back in, and it's good to go. Up front, we have a power tongue jack and a little novelty item here. Just, gotta have some cheesy things up the trailer. Now, as I say, it's a power tongue jack. Also has a light. And in the event that there is no power, you can't access the power for one reason or another, there's a manual override here that will allow you to crank it up and down manually. Now, because we are seasonal, we aren't towing our unit, so it's staying here for the foreseeable future, maybe for the rest of our lives. But we did want to put one little piece of security on it, and that would be this right here. A little master lock, coupling lock, so that somebody can't just simply pull up, hook up, and pull our trailer away. Not that there's a lot of trailer theft like that, but I know it does exist. And yes, this is not 100% deterrent. If somebody really wants your trailer, they can get that off and get your trailer. But if a thief does come by and they see one of those on, they may just simply move on to the next one. I'm not going to get into the towing elements of our trailer. You can see the chains and such there, because as I say, we are seasonal. we're not hauling this around. It's sitting here, it's up on blocks. You can see the 2 block pillars on either side. There are 6 pillars down the length of the trailer to help keep it level and stable. And we'll be seeing those as we go. Now, as we get up, we'll move around to the campsite. And the first thing we will see is our pass-through storage. I open this up, it has the magnetic lock, and you can see we've already got a variety of things in there. This will be the day-to-day type things that we'll grab and go. Bug spray, sunscreen, that sort of thing. You can't really see all the way through, but it does pass straight through. And over here, sort of in this little corner, that's the location of the water pump. Because we are at a seasonal park, we are connected to the city water and don't really need to use that much, except for when it comes to the winterizing of the unit. And when it comes time to that at the end of the season, I will do a winterizing video. So, close this up. Now, right beside it, we have here the freshwater connection. Now, again, if you're not connected to city water, this is where you would fill your freshwater holding tank. Also, we'll use it for dewinterizing and such. If we look underneath, you'll see that we have stabilizer jacks. Now, do never, ever use these for leveling. That's not their purpose. They are not built for it, nor do they have the weight capacity to do that. Their job is to simply provide a little extra stability to your trailer. Now, because we do have these blocks and such and pillars to provide support and leveling, there's not a great deal of need for this, but I figure it couldn't hurt to have them down. And what's nice about these on this particular unit is they are power activated, sort of up and down toggle switch. I should let you know the model of our trailer. Actually, it's a Coleman 337BH, so it's about 38 feet long. As you can see, we have a campsite slide, and beyond that is my favorite feature of the trailer, the outdoor kitchen, which I'll get to in a moment. You may notice too that we don't have a deck yet. It's because it's our first season at this park, and we've only been open for about a month. Now, the plan is that we will build a deck next season. Right now, we're doing sort of all the little things, including the table that I'm showing you right now and chairs. Bought those new, had to assemble all of that. And underneath it, we got ourselves a little mat as well, just to make it a little more dining friendly as opposed to sitting on gravel. And we'll move along the side of the trailer here. We will see we have a couple of outdoor speakers, as well as a fairly long awning. Move into a couple little elements right here. We have our outdoor power. It's a GFCI outlet. And then above it here, this would be the black tank flush. You pop it open, run water through there to help flush out your black tank when you're dumping it. I'll do a video on black tank dumping and flushing later on, perhaps later today. We have our front door, and I'll do a walkthrough of the interior in another video. Fortunately, it did come with the nice solid step Lippert steps, so you've got good traction and stability when you're going in and out of it. A little update we did is because we know we're going to often use a broom outside. If we look way up, you'll see we are underneath trees. And as beautiful as trees are, life in an RV under trees does come with tree debris. So we do a lot of sweeping. So we found that this wonderful little attachment here is from Command. We're all familiar with the Command hooks. This is a Command broom and mop holder. And simply pull the broom out, feel free to use it, push it back against these little clamps, give it a press, locks in place. Used that thing actually earlier to sweep up everything and make it look presentable out here, but if you look closely, the trees have already done some of their damage to us. Impossible to keep it spotless, but hey, that's camping life. Oh, and this little dollar store find, little hand sweeper just for the tabletops and chairs. Excellent, excellent investment. Cost us $1.25, use it almost every day. As we go along, you'll see it's a tandem axle trailer, but it doesn't really matter to us, as I say, because we are stationary, we're in a seasonal site, and we plan to be here till our dying day, hopefully. Even though we are on the pillars, I did add the chocks to the wheels as well. You can see those in red. Put those in place as soon as the trailer was delivered before we did the leveling and blocking, just to ensure that there was no movement. And once we were blocked up, I figured I'll just leave them there. Better to have more than you need than not enough. We also invested in what Canadians would call Muskoka chairs and our US friends would call Adirondack chairs. These are plastic, come fairly cheap. They're great for around the fire, friends come over, guests, etc. They stack, they pack up out of the way. Affordable, yet very practical and useful. Here we have our water heater. It is not hot water on demand. It is a 6-gallon tank. But I've discovered that it's been fun. We don't really shower much here because the showers aren't conducive to showering and spending a lot of time in them. They're quite small, not a lot of pressure. I have showered in it. It was not enjoyable, so we'll use that limited. The model year after this is a 2022. The model year after this, I believe, came with the tankless water system. But we're fine with this as it is. If we find we need to upgrade down the road, we will. And here would be the furnace inlet outlet. Don't sit here on a hot day because the exhaust out of there is quite hot. Something else I've bought but I haven't installed yet are little covers for these vents, little mesh covers that help prevent insects and wasps and that from getting in there and hanging around, setting up nests and such. Got some for that and for this. And once I have those installed, then I'll add that to a video. But now, my favorite part of this trailer, and it was ideally all I really wanted. I didn't care about the inside, I just wanted this. Let me open up the latches and get this open for you. There we have the outdoor kitchen. Like I said, this was a must-have for us. Comes with the dorm-size fridge, great for your drinks, your libations. Has a sink, cabinets above, and 2 drawers. Plus, right here in the middle is a little spice rack. So if you're out here barbecuing or working on your Blackstone, you keep all your spices right here, easily at hand. So the fridge doesn't have a freezer, but it's ample room for all of the soft drinks and whatever else you may be thirsty for. Keeps it all handy outside, so you don't have to keep running in and out every time you need a drink. Running water also, real benefit out here. There is power supply there behind the kettle, so I wake up early. I can come out here and make my coffee out here without disturbing the family. We have a nice large cabinet up here as well with my King of the Camper camping mug and several little decorations that we're going to put out around our site as we get more established here. And there's a light in the event that it's nighttime and you need to access what you're doing. If we go below, you'll see that we have another stabilizer jack setup at this end, at the rear. Again, do not use these for leveling. They do not have that type of weight rating. The idea behind them is just to provide some stability, and because I already had them down when we did the blocking and the pillars, I decided to leave them there. Like I said, it couldn't hurt just to have them down. And like the ones at the front, these are also power operated by this toggle switch. Now beside that, you'll notice this little blue cap. That would be a propane quick connect. This is where you can connect your barbecue, your Blackstone griddle, or what have you that runs on propane, and it will link you directly to the propane tanks at the front of the trailer. When we bought the trailer, as I mentioned, it came with 2 20-pound tanks, but wanted to upgrade those to 30-pounders. But we did keep the 20-pounders also, and I'm using those for our barbecue, and we'll also use the second one for the Blackstone, because I didn't want to be drawing trailer propane for the barbecue and such. I want to keep those tanks specifically for the trailer use only. That's just me. Others, you may find it's more easy and more efficient or beneficial for you to hook everything up to that. As we get around back, we'll see something that a lot of trailers don't really have anymore, and that would be a rear bumper. I don't know why they stopped putting them on, but to me, it's an important element of the trailer, even though ours will likely never move again. To me, it's a good thing to have. Have our spare tire, and if we look up, you will see there is a backup camera prep We haven't installed it, again, because we're not moving the trailer and driving it to different parks, so we really don't require that. The unfortunate part about this trailer, though, is it's not a walkable roof. That's why you see no ladder or ladder prep. Even though it is not walkable, you can get up there as long as you spread your weight distribution, because there are things you will need to get up on the roof for. Now we go around the back over to the off-camp side. You'll see there's the other side of the rear stabilizers. Then our power connection. Our trailer is a 50 amp trailer because it has air conditioning, microwave, a lot of power draws because it is 38 feet long, but it is also prepped for a second air conditioner. I don't see that we'll be doing that, though, just simply because the park power that we have is only 30 amp, and running 2 air conditioners on that, we'll end up popping fuses every single day. So we'll likely stick with what we have. But we have 50 amp into the trailer, but because going from the park power to the trailer, the park is only 30 amp. So what we have is an adapter, often referred to as a dog bone. We'll show that down here. The dog bone is called that because it's the thin wire part with wide ends, much like a bone would have. What that does is it provides 30 amp connection at this end and a 50 amp connection at this end, allowing you to take a 50 amp cord, plug it into a 30 amp source. You will also notice a very important aspect of our electrical connection, and that would be the surge protector. This to me is not something you should have, it's something you must have, because you never know what kind of power surges you may face depending on the parks you're at and such. This will sacrifice itself to protect your trailer. The last thing you want is for a power surge to go into your trailer and fire your electrical box or some electric component within your unit. So this small price to pay for that peace of mind and protection. And there is a little legend on there that will show you different lighting formats to tell you what the condition of the electrical connection is. If you see, we have 2 green lights with a off light in between. That indicates that it is correct wiring and a good connection. Now, as we move around the pole, here is where we have our water connection. First thing you'll notice is I have added a Y pipe, so allow us to have 2 hoses connected to the same source. What we have here is a simple garden hose. I can use this to hook up to my pressure washer or just to water some plants, what have you, just for any general water source. Now this side, this is what's running into the trailer. First thing I put on it was the water filter. Actually, it's the second thing. The first thing I put was this right here. This is a water pressure regulator. Again, a must-have. Regardless of what type you get, because there are different ones. Some have gauges to indicate the amount of pressure currently running through it. Some will have controls where you can manually adjust the pressure to what you want. The one we bought is factory preset to be between 40 and 50 psi. More than adequate. We're quite content with it, and so far the pressure has been pretty good in the trailer. And then that is connected to our water filter. Again, you never know what's coming out of the water spigot here, so you want to make sure that the water going into your trailer is as clean and filtered as possible. For us, we will change this every season, and our seasons will run from mid-May to the end of October. When it's done, it'll be tossed, and we'll add a new one at the new season. And when I open the trailer next season, I'll show you what I do and how I do that. And you'll also see connected to it as you travel along, going through our little jungle, the white hose. That is what's called the potable water hose. It's a hose that's made of materials that help keep your water clean, as opposed to just a general garden hose that can develop bacteria and such, and not necessarily ideal for human consumption. Back up a little bit. Here is our park sewer connection, where we've got the rubber coupling to make sure we have an airtight seal, and PVC piping that connects to our tank, our little tank valves. The trailer has 2 gray tanks, so as you look down, you'll see some downspouts coming out from underneath the trailer. Those are the outlets for each tank, running into the PVC pipe down into the park sewer. Again, because we are seasonal, the trailer isn't moving, so we don't need to use a slinky, flexible hose. We can go with the solid, secure PVC pipe. It's been working great for us so far. And again, you'll see here another one of the leveling and support pillars. There, as I said, there are 6. 2 at the back, 2 at the front, and 2 in the middle. Now, let's move around beyond this slide. We'll go through the jungle and see what we have the other sections of the off-camp side. If we peek through here, you will see a little tag that says gray tank. I'm not sure if you can see it from there, but this is that white down pipe there. You'll see the valve pulled open. That would be one gray tank flush section. This trailer has 2 gray tanks, so that tank would be the water coming from the outdoor kitchen as well as the indoor kitchen sink. We move further along. Again, we're following along with the sewer piping. Carry along underneath. Again, you'll see the wheel chocks on this side as well. No plan to move them. They're there, might as well keep them there. Keep going along and we see another gray tank sticker. As we go underneath and have a look, there you will see right there another valve for our second gray tank. That gray tank holds the water that comes from the washroom, from the shower and the sink, but not the toilet. So it's sort of not the filthy water, but it is the dirty water. We keep those open because it's pretty much just all water that's flowing through at all times. So rather than having to worry about can we dump the tank? Do we have to dump the tank? It's just always flowing out because it's pretty much all water all the time anyway. Move a little further along. Now we come to our black tank. Yep, this is where the filth is. Come down underneath here and you'll see the valve for the black tank right here is closed. When you are camping, you want to keep your black tank closed at all times until it is time to flush it. And I'll do a video on black tank dumping and flushing, maybe after this one, because I plan to do that later today anyway. So when it is time to flush, you just simply pull that valve out, listen to all the flow going down your pipes and down into the sewer. Once it's clear, cleaned, and flushed, you'll close that valve and keep it closed. And I'll tell you why in my black tank dumping video. Something I did add recently, because we are seasonal, the trailer isn't moving, and we love campfires, is I bought and built this little shed, multi-purpose shed. But for us, it's primarily our wood box. As you can see, we are quite full of wood. I could fit more in there if I packed it a little more efficiency, but for now, it's working fine. It's good enough, and it keeps it protected from the elements. Keeps our wood dry. Moving along towards the front again, this is the other side of the pass-through. When I open it, you see, okay, we have our connections section here where we have a power outlet, cable connection, but we are actually set up with a local wireless provider. So we're getting our streaming systems and not really watching any TV. So we don't have a need for that. But if you're using a Starlink system, maybe you do patch into that. Under here is our spray port, and this would be the hose for it. This is the pass-through for our water connection. Now this is where I showed you I had the water filter, the blue tubular element at the beginning of the water source. I would prefer to have that at this end, so it was also filtering and cleaning the water that's in the hose, but unfortunately the angle at which this comes up and in did not fit. I tried, wouldn't fit, so I had to go with this method. You'll also notice too, I added an adapter, a 45-degree angle adapter here, so that I could easily connect the water inlet hose without there being any kinking. And on this side is where I keep, you could say, the utility aspects of the trailer. An extra filter, some tools, and so on. So the off side, where nobody was really accessing it regularly, but when I need my tools, here they are. Now, a very important aspect of trailers is this sticker right here. This is the one that will tell you two very important pieces of information. That would be the unloaded vehicle weight. In our case, it's 8,422 pounds. And what that is, that's the weight of the trailer once it's left the factory. Before there's an owner, before you've bought it and you've started putting your own belongings in or putting anything into the tanks, that's the basic factory weight of this trailer. Then there's the GVW rating, which is the gross vehicle weight. This refers to an estimated weight of the trailer once you're in it and you've got all your belongings and so on. It's rated for 11,176 pounds. These are critical pieces of information, especially if you are traveling with your unit, because you need to make sure your tow vehicle can support the weight as listed. So that gives us a complete walk around of our unit. Back to the front, have a little look here at the battery box. We just have your standard battery in it right now. We may be updating it to a lithium, but don't see why we would. We're connected to shore power, and that's more than adequate for us. One thing you will notice too is we do not currently have a shed, but we do have a pad for the shed. And I've got some twigs stacked up there for future campfires. Now I own the shed. We bought it. It just has to be brought up here and built and put in place. So that is a project for another weekend. Maybe I'll do a video of us building that. Not sure. Or maybe just show you the empty pad and then the shed on it. But we'll see. So I guess this is a good place to wrap this up. I'll finish it up again with our beautiful view. Can never get enough of this. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, suggestions, or even just comments, please, I encourage you to leave those. If you found the video enjoyable or helpful, please click like. And if you would like to see more videos like this and be advised when my next videos are posted, I please encourage you to click that subscribe button. Thank you very much and happy camping.